We're back in here, folks. Inferno now on deck, and forZe, after a very challenging second half of Anubis, will look to right some of those wrongs. Seems like we're going to get mid-aggression here. Cabbi's got a spot, and he's never seen a spot he didn't want to shoot at. But this time he'll back away. It's a heavy B lean for ECSTATIC, which is interesting because they're also pretty aggressively postured in towards A with a player boiler and a player fighting short. Ordinarily, you'll see teams play a little bit more passive if they've got this kind of a lean in there. You see the problem with it. Now there's one player A. A flank is developing, but if they just rock out on towards this site, it's going to be tough to do anything about it, and that's exactly what happens. So ECSTATIC play a very risky setup, and they're going to pay the consequences here in the post plant.
How do you even get past Jerry alone? Defuse the bomb. Kraghen's actually out, unchecked by Shalfie. Shalfie needs to find this kill, at least for some redemption. Results, thankfully, he's there to clip some heads. And yeah, in terms of the early setup, I don't mind staying aggressively postured in towards mid or apps, but I feel like your B players need to be ready to react. And they were a little bit too slow pushing through banana to crunch mid or, get in behind or help their teammates. A little bit left out to dry in the end.
Remember, folks, it's only baiting if it doesn't work. Shalfie knows that all too well in this moment.
You're a fisherman yourself.
Am I? Not really. When we're doing long-term sailing, we'll hang a line off the back and catch some stuff.
Throw it back in or eat it?
No, eat it. Eat it to eat. Yeah. No, so that's definitely not sport fishing.
Used to go fishing quite a lot. That was way back when.
You do?
Used to, not anymore. Not anymore. And nor is Queenix from here onwards. Cabbi is the deck, and we are saving
that
this
fish.
sliver away.
He's gonna try and cut loose. Tell me about Fisherman Allen.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, where'd you fish?
Basically, where the village I grew up in had 2 or 3 lakes around it, and one of them was specifically for fishing.
Okay. Was it like a stocked pond? Like they stocked it with fish?
It's man-made. It was certainly
Okay.
man-made. It's not a natural lake. I think it used to be a quarry way back.
Ah, yeah.
Or something.
Classic application for quarries.
Yeah, it became a lake. And then I also lived on the River Thames. So, and I do again now, I guess. But yeah, you could also fish in the Thames. But the Thames is not as great for fishing as you might expect.
No, I think I'd expect. Time to break out the kit again. The rig. The pole.
I was never very good at fishing. I didn't have the patience.
I'm sure ECSTATIC can relate to that.
Why fish when I can play video games?
I will say, though, I don't have too much interest in real-life fishing. I could do it, but it's just not something I seek out necessarily, apart from when I'm on a boat and want to eat fish. Krad, ripper of a shot there, takes a scout out of play. Biggest threat into this round. Queenix will pick it up, though. There's another tag. Enough fishing talk. Things are getting interesting. Oh, if they kill Queenix, it's over. Queenix is going to posture to try and avoid getting overwhelmed. He's past the smoke. He's going to go peeking. Are they ready for this? The flashbang's good. And this round should be just about over. So, back to my point. Not that much interested in real-life fishing. I do like eating fish, though. But if there's a fishing minigame in a game, you know I'm soaking way too many hours into that.
Can't remember the last game that I played that had a fishing mini game.
Have you played Stardew Valley?
No.
10 out of 10 recommend. Sometime when it's like bleak weather, which is just normal in London.
Every day.
And you're just feeling the urge to like go for a nature walk, but you can't because of the weather, and you just want to like play some Stardew.
Nature walk.
Or just
in
like
London.
Yeah, well, I mean, just experience the world a little bit. It's like a good winter months game kind of thing, when it's bleak and dreary and you don't really want to go anywhere. It's a good game. It's a great game.
When it's bleak and dreary, Mike, I just get the first flight to Cyprus.
True.
and
That
then
is
warm
a
up
nice
again.
approach. I think most people don't have that particular luxury.
No, but I'm balling out of control, so I don't care.
You are balling. This is what I say about you, Alan. He's balling out of control.
Would every day. I might be casting from Cyprus right now. How would you know? How would you know? Actually, I'd be wearing a shirt with too many buttons undone. Then you'd know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then you
That's
definitely
actually
know.
the secret. As soon as Alan's in Cyprus, his buttons just magically undo themselves.
And all my profile pictures change, but that's a different story. Mid sake to come. Cabbi's alone, out in mid. If there's a flashbang, he's a dead man. Queenix is playing for pit. Okay, he decides to get out of dodge. It's a little bit scary for a moment. Molly's going to take him off the corner. But ECSTATIC have to react now they've lost mid. They have to take banana. And if Krad can hold off for just a second and get a read, they can explode onto A before the rotates come in.
He's got an HE as well. He's low himself. Oh, and the peek in towards the op, that's what they were hoping for. Now the third player's floated over. This becomes a pretty good setup for ECSTATIC with Salazar able to lock down banana. But uh-oh. Kraghen's giving off this angle at just the wrong time. Jerry's crossed him. He doesn't know that. Ah, that was a bit of a blunder. Sets up his A players in a tough spot, but Queenix is going to shoot his way out. He knows pressure's coming on. He's got a good read on this. Prepared for Jerry's peak. Jerry has already found one. Queenix trying to look for damage, and he's lost his team. He's lost his rotators. All the while, we were focused in on the pit. He was waiting for the cavalry to come through. The cavalry got decimated before he was even in.
That was the most Jerry thing I've ever seen. Goes into graveyard, is there for a good 15 seconds whilst the player's in pit, and somehow never actually shows his head. Never presents a duel. He's 17,000 steps ahead. And they lost the opening pick there, and they still win the round. I mean, result is holding from the end of apartments onto Moto. And Cabbi must have just presented slightly too much of himself as he comes off after that front library smoke goes down the wrap smoke. That's what really allowed the round to happen, is that one kill. I think if Cabbi stays alive, and especially if he's already on the site, I'm not sure that's nearly as easy for forZe.
Speaking of easy for forZe, look at that money. Oh, it has built. Cash flow rich. They're balling out of control now. The Krad's even going to buy a maNkz here. Just balling unreasonably out of control.
Yeah, they're all boot camping at my house. This is why. That's why it's looking so good. Flew them out after that T-side on Anubis to get them back in the zone.
I've got a new business for you. Set up a boot camp facility in Cyprus. Start
I think
offering
ping's
boot
amazing.
camp. Yeah, that would be a problem.
About 80 ping, I'd have thought.
All right, well, the first install is getting better fiber lines out to Cyprus.
That's not the problem. It's a geographical distance problem.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get better fiber direct routing to Germany, it could work. Everyone plays on German servers in Europe, right?
Well, I'll give them a call. I'll give Berlin a call on my international phone.
Yeah.
See if we can sort that out.
Your international phone.
In the big red phone box. That's what they're for.
Yeah, it has a little ring dial on it, too.
Yeah.
maNkz! Oh, so close to getting one. He'll never know how close he was to killing Krad. Probably wouldn't have tipped the scales of these rounds, but it would have at least done something. Look, Cabbi and Salazar can save an AWP. With the utility that they've got with the lack of a kit, I'd imagine that save's got to be pretty tempting. They're sticking around to see if they can get something based on the gap in the smoke. But that shot's not on.
That
and now
felt
the
like
gap
a
is
hit.
revealed. It did look like it hit. I think he moved. I think he anticipated the counter shot and shifted slightly.
Okay. Well, this is looking pretty good now for forZe. Their money is really ripening up. They're having some very clean anti-ecos as well. It's just the gun round they got a bit frisky on towards A. And ECSTATIC need to change something up here. Maybe a pause for them would be a welcome. This is going to be their best buy so far, that's for sure. It'd be full nades across the board with that AWP in play. There are plenty of options. You could aggro B take with 3 players. You could drop an extra nade set for 2 players. You could solo B with an extra nade set and do full mid, which is what we've seen a lot in these qualifiers so far. Endless possibilities. And what do they go?
Endless. It is interesting to me that ECSTATIC. Well, now they're shifting it back early. I was going to say they've been under pressure on A so much of the game. It feels like, and they continue to play heavy B early on. But this round they don't. This is just Cabbi goes over to dump some util. Maybe doesn't even really dump much, and then comes over to support his team.
It takes soon to come. It's also in how you take B. It's also a question of how obvious is it that you've got free, because that's really what forZe have exploited, is that information. I think this time it was okay. Jerry finds a fight. It's looking nerve-wracking. Look what Jerry's done. He's one player alone. He's forced two back on B. Now they've lost the A rotator. Look at all the space in towards mid.
They've got this control, though. I mean, they're actually not going to split B. They're going to focus back in towards A, which isn't a bad read. I mean, it's two either way you go, and you can control the rotates here. Trophy is slowing them down. Kraghen trying to get into this fight, but he's just in such a tough spot. It's so hard to win that fight online. Bomb dropped. forZe is going to pause for a moment. Fortunately for them, the bomb dropped into a more secure position, but Salazar is going to go looking for it. And he's going to find death. He's going to find death. And now, Queenix, I do not envy your position. 1 for 1. Does set up the possibility of a retake, but maNkz, 12 HP. He's going to have to be perfect on this. Does seem like he'll give it a go. Could, I suppose, just snatch this off and try and get out of here, but he's tempted forward. The player in Graveyard's going to be too tough to read. He'd have to full clear this.
And he's
Result
going
just
to
has
play
to
the contact
wait.
of his teammate anyway.
Yeah.
Result's never going to peak.
Oh, there's the first. There's the peek. There's the check. There's the kill.
That got scarier for a second there. I think
they already had
I
it
think
on time.
forZe made the call to go B with 25 seconds left. Because Krad runs back short. And I'm pretty sure they were going to go back B because they knew they killed one of the rotators. They knew it was solo B. And yeah, it got really scary for a second. It might have even been a scenario where even committing into the more defended site is the option because you've just already kind of set up for it. And yeah, if Salazar hits that one kill as he pushes through short, I don't think they can win the round. I'm not sure there's time to recover the bomb. That sort of situation. Shelby doesn't peek, actually. What do you go for it there after the flash pops? But playing a longer game.
Nice damage on the Salazar early. Well, it just reads and spams and it's gonna work out beautifully. And again, they're gonna contest for top banana. That's a huge pick to find. Keeping the AWPer muted. We've seen him with slow starts to games. The AWP picked up. All right, the half wall spam. Look at this damage going back the other way. But Jerry's not going to be slowed up. He says if he's spamming, that means there is still an AWP for me to find. Oh, it's Kraghen, though, who he's going to have to contend with. This shot will have to be perfect. Kraghen checking Kraghen. Evening up the scoreline here. And the bomb committed logs. The bomb stuck logs. Uh-oh. What kind of utility do they have to recover this? They've still got smokes and flashes, but they'll have to commit a ton of it just to getting the bomb back.
That's not a good smoke. That is not the smoke.
Choice.
Oh, Lord. And they've just used the other smoke for long?
This is a non-starter, you'd imagine. Molotovs are going to come in here. Does it even spread the maNkz? I don't think so. Yeah, T-side safe. They're out. Let's explain this one to me, Alan, because they get the first pick. They kill Salazar. Yes, Jerry gets traded. But then it all falls apart.
Yeah. I'm not sure Jerry going for that fight was the most advised things to go for on 20 HP. At least without some sort of flashbang behind him or something. And then from there, yeah, the player logs that has the bomb. I think he he's trying to fire for a pool molly. And then he just gets peeked out by maNkz or something like this. And then from there, the utility was dreadful. I think would be a kind way to put it. Bit of a mess from forZe. And I think probably most importantly, ECSTATIC kept a lot of players alive by virtue of forZe dropping the ball. Which is handy for them. Scary part for ECSTATIC is I'm not sure that is necessarily repeatable, what we just seen.
It
More
does feel
forZe
like
slipping up than them doing something amazing.
absolutely. The question is, how do you read what you saw? I mean, it's also maNkz going above and beyond, which is really not the player that ideally, if you're ecstatic, you want to be making it happen. Need Salazar hitting, need Cabbi hitting, need Kraghen hitting.
forZe might run a fast A round soon. They've seen a lot of free B. A lot of it. At some point, they're going to call the bluff here.
And the thing is as well, right? When we see that 3B, we still often see aggressive posturing out from ecstatic on A. So if they can catch those kills early, it's just kind of a coin flip, if you will, for ecstatic. If you lose those defenders and you don't have a numbers advantage, it's likely going to be a save, just the way Inferno plays out.
I mean, slight tech issue. We're hearing in our ears that it shouldn't be too long. Want to get back into the action here after how would we describe the first map? It wasn't as exciting as I'd hoped. It was more of a streaky affair.
The
Where
tale of
even when
two
forZe got some
halves.
rounds at the end, it was it was grueling, wasn't it? The way they got those rounds through.
There was excitement in the second half, but yeah, it did look like two very. It felt like two very unmatched teams. Just they traded roles at the halftime switch. This, even though it's a 6-1 scoreline, has felt a bit more interesting. At least off the rip. We need to see some more from ecstatic, but this is their chance to build in and make a game of this, to find the meat of Inferno. What kind of meat would Inferno be?
Some sort of ham, presumably. Or maybe what else would Italians do?
Like a
Some
prosciutto?
sort of, yeah, some sort of
Also buco, maybe?
sort of thing, salami, that sort of direction.
You know, one of the things that I find very interesting about... Oh, we're back in. We're back in, so we don't need to talk about salami. But I will say, for the Europeans watching this, you don't know how good you have it in terms of cured meats. For whatever reason, I can never find very good cured meats in the US. And they're delicious in Europe, so...
We can do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Hotel breakfasts are pretty good on that front. I'll give them credit.
For the cured meat front? Yeah.
Oh, my lord. Aggressive app setup. Salazar on the angle. Got two teammates for help. There's a nade kill in towards T ramp. And this round is a disaster start for forZe.
It is indeed. They're going to come through the smoke. Zorte will get this at least, but it's only one back, and Salazar's right on the spot. Still, Jerry keeps asking questions. And economic pressure as well is something that they could consider. They've got a player isolated here towards B. Kraghen's got to back away. The rotation's not quick, and it seems like forZe are accelerating into this. A smoke, a timely smoke, but do they go through?
Yeah, they
seems like they want to. Kraghen up close. He's going to be past the flashbangs if they do come through. He's dodged this. Oh, no. Caught by the second. That's brutal. Have they found him? No, he's swapped spots. He's swapped spots with them. The bomb's pushing through?
No.
Okay. Shelfie. Not dead just yet. A little bit of panic here. Kill's starting to fall away. They don't expect the late banana.
What's happening?
Queenix can't zero it in. This is chaos. This is disorder. This is discord. But Salazar on 1 HP. 1 HP will limp to the finish.
What's going on?
How on earth?
I can't believe they didn't see the Kraghen as they... I can't believe they didn't see him as they went through the smoke. I guess they're just so busy trying to turn their own flashes that it's just a mess.
I can't believe Shelfie got away with that tree push with the bomb.
Oh, that was incredible.
You should be punished for that every time. I mean, this is insanity. This is the forZe effect. But it does mean that there's going to be major economic pressure into this round. Cabbi's going to get aggressive, as he's never one to be cowed, and he's lost his life right off the rip. Damage onto Jerry was not worth that price of admission.
I think he lost the full belt nades as well, for good measure. Never going to help on Inferno. If you're going to go for a push like that, you should be dropping your nades before you do it. Give it to your teammates just in case. Mid flash through. Long pop coming. Queenix finds 2. Headshot onto Zorte. But they've seen a lot of ground onto this bomb site. A lot of ground onto A.
This is really problematic. They got all this control. They know they have it. Jerry is tucked into a corner. That's an interesting angle to hold to avoid the gun barrel coming out. Could use a teammate to play off of. Not going to have that. Oh, almost had 2. Didn't want to overplay his hand. But he's got information for his teammates. Got the read. A Molotov cues off a little bit more as well. Zorte's ready for this peek. I don't know about Graveyard. There's the peek in. 1v1 and Result gets it this time. No more magic for Salazar. No more last-second saves. It's a disastrous loss for ECSTATIC.
An absolute Jerry angle as well. It's only a 1-for-1, but with his HP, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Oh, wow. I thought Queenix had done enough. I really thought he had. Just lost his teammate so early on, and unfortunately, the I guess it was Salazar as the A rotator was just caught out of dodge behind those smokes. Can never really help. And ECSTATIC, despite having good loss bonus here, they are full forced, fully bought. They're on 2-9 loss, I believe.
An interesting one. Salazar saving a little extra money. I mean, maybe it's an off situation.
I think it's a misread, to be honest. forZe's money is a little bit better than I think they expect. It's not full reset territory.
Looks like they're going to get the read they want, which is the bracket play. Cabbi's very late with that smoke. Going to be about the spam regardless of what happens. In towards the left. Queenix. Oh, that's great. Drags the focus. Salazar gets a kill. This quad setup is full stack. Got what they wanted. Haven't quite been able to find the execution, but now they've got a player isolated. Do forZe. If they run down Cabbi, it's all over. He'll take 1. He'll take 2. Cabbi making it happen here. A dead man, but clutch. Very viable, especially with the health of Krad. Bomb down. maNkz looking to crack this. Krad slips further in towards the side. He has no read on the position maNkz is playing from. Expects him to be the lead bone B defender, but maNkz, oh no, clearing around the pillar, gets caught off. A shot to the temple, and Krad with the clutch.
maNkz was so early. He was 2 occasions there, half a second from catching the sole survivor off before. Oh, it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. And that buy is looking a little bit silly now. It was very close to working. forZe commits so many numbers into that mid take. But now ECSTATIC are going another round without a full investment. Cabbi's, I mean, is he half buying? He's bought a FAMAS. It's not looking normal. It's looking very unorthodox, the economic kind of choices from here. Salazar's M4 armor. Salazar's fully bought. Come on, guys. Gotta play for the full investments. It's almost a, a spiraling debt sort of scenario where they buy into it once, and then to keep justifying it, they keep buying.
They're taking out new credit cards to pay down their old credit cards.
Yeah.
Which, for anyone looking for financial advice at home, don't do that. That's all I have for you.
Oh my
Nice
Lord.
nade. Goodbye, maNkz. Aggressive banana play, majorly punished. Control top bracket, now available as well. Jerry's taken all this space, and they're just going to continue to press it. Goodbye, Salazar. It's all falling apart. This set of dominoes that ECSTATIC have stacked up with their economy, it just keeps falling down. Who knew you shouldn't build things on top of dominoes? Queenix? Okay, Queenix. Queenix makes this interesting. A hero play could flip the scales.
Oh.
And here we go. We got around. We got around, boys. Cabbi is stuck in towards the site. Delphi's got Graveyard. That will never be red. Not in a million years. So a chance to recover this round for forZe. And provided they win it, they don't really care how they do it. New pit it is. Kraghen to be the hero. He's stepping into a crossfire, though, Alan. This is such a tough setup to get past. And as he creeps around the hay cart, his back exposed. Krad's got that easy as can be.
They've got to swallow their pride now. They also didn't take a pause in like a succession of buys to at least discuss it. And lack of a coach could be a factor here. It's been a bit bizarre the last few. I think ECSTATIC have only full bought, let's say, 4 rounds, maybe, on this defense. It was like about the right number. Maybe it's only 3 as well. It's been really rough on the economic choices. This time, finally, we're going to concede. And it's a pretty standard half buy. Pistol armor, bit of nadage, plenty of smokes in the mix. That is nice. But Cabbi, one of the 2A defenders, is already down. And Salazar's sprinting over just his P50 in hand to at least try and bolster that A defense.
Don't know that he's going to be able to do much. Unarmored P250. This would be the round of the century. Especially as they continue to lose bodies over towards B. Might just pull force back. Or they'll just kill everybody everywhere. Why not? They spot another play on towards B. They know it's max 1. And that one is done. Barely a bullet taken. This is finally the round for forZe where they just get to build money, build in, find double digits. There's very little for ECSTATIC to even think about. Kraghen. A panic pop of the CZ. I guess he'd like to save his armor. He's trying to bait somebody into giving him a gun. But they've even tagged him up. And it's going to be an SMG coming his way. Looking to make an $600 reduce. Here's a controversial take.
Give me a...
I think the CZ is a bad gun to pick up as a sidearm, even over a Glock.
Because of the time to get it out.
Yes. Specifically as a secondary. I mean, it's great for a force buy, but it is bad to use as a secondary weapon because in the panic situation where you run out of bullets and you need that last 6 damage to kill, it's going to take you ages to get the CZ out.
Most AWPers would probably PT50 second, I'd imagine. And, okay, I thought forZe were going to go all the way up banana there. It's really just setting up for the early triple nades. And ECSTATIC is showing a lot. ECSTATIC have shown 3 mollies. I'm not sure forZe have realized. I think they missed one of them. But maybe Jerry's getting a read. Result is taking mid control solo. Oh, and he kills Salazar. Player hits the deck. Only 2 in defense on a make it 1 result. A 1-man army is calling the cavalry over now.
Come on. Come on. Result.
My God.
You can't do it to him. This one stinks for ECSTATIC. There's no flashy play. There's no utility to support him. There's no smart move. He just holds W all the way through and rips 3 heads from 3 sets of shoulders. What do you do? What do you even do for ECSTATIC? Look at this hunt already.
Wild. It's also the first round they haven't. They normally play into mid or apps too, but they didn't in this round. And forZe want these saved guns. They know they got a bit of money in the bank. Kraghen on top of coffins. Well, at least he doesn't have to go far to find one. Now he's on the floor. Shelfie finds the last. This is going to a third map. I don't see any route back. I
mean, okay. I'm going to build a silver lining here, which is we would have said the same after Anubis. But, yeah, this is...
I have magnitudes more confidence in forZe's defense on this map.
True. And it's even going to be a better half scoreline unless someone pulls off a crazy pistol play in this one.
Salazar's fully ecoed. He wants the AWP out in the final. Deagle in the end. Purchased up. It's been a great team effort. Jerry's playing a great game. Krad is eating nades like he's magnetized. Okay. They softened up. These deagles become a little more potent now.
Cabbi has been blessed by the molly gods. Oh no, there's another one. Yeah, he's not trusting his luck on that spread 2 times in a row. Salazar at least connects 1, but now it's pressure. They've got the numbers here. They've got the numbers here, Kraghen. Only 1, and Krad, despite his low HP, is good for it. maNkz will have a rifle. This is winnable. This is viable. He's going to attempt it. Go through the smoke, pressure on. They know his spot. They know his read. Zorth has got the angle for it. It's going to take so much time for him to rotate around, so he's going to try and bait the rotate. Make them think he's done it. And then give away the bait by immediately smoking where he's coming through and dying to Krad.
Good attempt on the pistols. Of course, economic damage is a non-factor as we head into round number 15. forZe of all the money and then some. Upgraded pistols across the board as well. Looks like Shalfie's got an extra AWP in towards spawn, as I guess Zorte's decided he doesn't want AWP this time around. 5 rifles in play. And ECSTATIC, you got to find 3. You've got to find 3 to give yourself an opportunity. And Jerry he's a monster. He's out for blood. He's hunting.
Krad's just like eager for the utility damage at this point. Oh, Cabbi gets that one at least, but there's trades behind it. Now they move up. They're happy to trade the bodies if it means kicking in the doors forZe, and this bomb's being planted. This looks like 13. Last round of the half, so of course maNkz and kraghen are going to attempt this, but they're so out of position. They've got to rotate so far, and they're very isolated. Result about to get a 1v1, and he's been so lights out that there's just nothing to do. Domination for forZe as we head to the break.
And if I met you in the middle, babe, would you give me all your love? Come and meet me in the middle, babe, and I give you all of my heart. And if I met you in the middle, babe, would you give me all your love? 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 Your love. Come and meet me in the middle, babe, and I give you all of my heart. And if I meet you in the middle, babe, would you give me all your love? Would you give me all your love?
And we are into it. 19-2, the scoreline. Domination from forZe, as they're looking to just close out this game as quick as can be. This is a pistol that could just decide the rest of this affair. Shalfie looking like he's stuck in mud. He'll be stuck in death right now. Man, disadvantage for the rest of the round before. So let's see if they can recover. Kraghen wants to press this in towards the site. He's solo dolo. Could just give back this kill, and indeed he will. That was ambitious. And it'll funnel them back towards A onto this take. Probably the initial read, the initial plan. They've got some utility for it. Molotov towards pit. No one's going to be caught there, but without these site players, can they set up the crossfire? Cabbi says no. Rezal panicking. He's overwhelmed. Gets one fully blind. Even said. But the bomb is going to be planted here, Alan. That can't be denied.
Afterspawns are strong. Cabbi tucked into grave, one in pit. Salazar can either take contact or play off that of his teammates. No nades either to isolate off angles. Krad is praying for a facing player. Gets a sliver of Queenix, but it's not enough. Salazar peeks off the contact. And, well, it's a good start for ECSTATIC. They'll be happy to collect a pistol. And given the severity of the scoreline, we just want them to get their heads back into the right place before a potential third map here. And we just want a clean run of rounds and some good Counter-Strike from the Danish squad. Well, we assume tech issue. Nobody's dropped.
We would do.
So, is there... How many? Hang on. How many players
We're down
are there?
a
There's only
player.
4 players here.
Yeah, we got double Zorte.
That
Who are
was
we
all
out?
say.
We've lost Krad.
Oh, he's back. For a second, Jerry's cloning program had come to fruition.
If I have 2 Zortes, we can run double up on every map.
That's the genius move. As the mad scientist concocts his way.
We don't know.
Jesus.
He may have been cloning all of his teammates. We just won't know until they're, 18 years from now when they're ready to play.
That's
Like
how
16 years
forZe
from now.
maintains their stamina throughout so many games. They have 2 shifts. The same player. Absolute genius.
Brilliant.
Okay, we get the full investment. Zorte's brought nothing up as he looks towards an AWP later on. They favored MP9s over getting smokes out, which is the normal play. And we'll see where those are playing. One is towards long, the other here is on Jerry, top first. It's free in defense, actually. This could be a good defense. Jerry, first called upon, does get traded, but there's 2 more to find. Shalfie through the CT smoke. Krad, ripper of a headshot, but unfortunately can't make it 2. As we find ourselves in a 3-on-3 after plant, there's no kits here to make it easier for the defense.
This isn't actually a 3-on-3, it's a 2-on-3, but the HUD is
thought
still
it was.
confused by Zorte.
I thought it was.
And you've got the late lurk in from Queenix, which should be the backstab in towards the CT player. I wonder if both Zortes will die when this Zorte dies. Oh, he's going to get knifed. Yeah, okay. Started to run away. No, only one Zorte dies when this Zorte dies. They're independent Zortes. It's okay. The HUD should sort it out after this round, folks. Just a little confused with the server. Result, any extra money going to be made? No. And I think Cabbi won't die to the bomb. Plenty of time.
There we go. Back to normal.
So on the subject of cloning, have you ever heard of the show Far Cry? No, not Far Cry. Farscape.
No.
Farscape was a sci-fi show, I want to say in the 90s, maybe early 2000s. I know my dad loved it. And I watched bits and pieces of it as a child. But one of the big plot points of the show is that the central character, whose name is John Crichton, gets cloned accidentally. He enters like a ship that was designed to clone, and he doesn't realize it, but it like takes a blood sample of him and makes another John Crichton. Now the problem becomes, and this becomes the central plot point of the show and something they analyze, they don't know which one's the original and they don't know which one's the clone, and there is no discernible difference between them. But from that point on, they're independent entities. And this is a cleanup round, so we're not going to bother talking about it until it gets interesting. And so eventually they just decide to go in two separate directions. The like show's party basically splits and goes and does two different things, and there's just split storylines for the majority of the rest of the show with two identical characters,
Mm.
or no longer identical, but like clones of each other, where you don't know who the original is and you do not know who the clone is. And the show basically asks the question of, does it matter at this point?
An intriguing question, I guess. Have you ever watched Fringe?
No, you've constantly recommended this show to me.
You need to watch Fringe. Fringe is the similar deal, but it's parallel universes, and in terms of people jumping between them.
Mm-hmm.
Fringe, they do things like they change the hair color of people, so you can tell which universe they're from. But they deal with similar quandaries of, are they the same person? Is there any difference? One person's brought over to replace a dead person from the other universe. That is the central plot of the entire thing. And yeah, food for thought. Hopefully Jerry's watched up. He's got some ideas. Can have all the players. And get himself another flip, maybe, if he steals them from a parallel universe.
Probably would like that one back, yeah. Jerry dead. Trying to do some cheeky KZ movement, jumping, hopping, bopping, but not escaping. That's a big pick to find early on for ECSTATIC as they look to continue to apply pressure onto this B site. There's a crossfire here. Krad has a cheeky angle on the smoke. And the flashbang is going to chase them off. So now the cross smoke will fade. Utility came out from the CT side. This kind of wastes the whole execute over on towards B. But the question is, do they want to reattempt it? One more smoke for the cross if they want to, and they're sticking around. So it seems like that's going to be the case. And Krad is once again isolated at 30 points of health. Shalfie has abandoned him. Here's smoke going to come in. Rotation will start, but ooh, might be too little too late. Utility sailing over. Krad, you got to be nigh on perfection, and that's not going to be the case.
Time to save. Time to save. As this bomb gets planted. I'll tell you one thing I don't like about forZe's Inferno, from what I've seen already, is this B bomb site is set up quite obviously. Jerry is normally the point man taking the fights, and Krad has the nades ready, normally from around coffins or whatever. I don't know why you'd have Krad on your team if you're not going to have him in those sort of duels. That feels like a Krad speciality. He's an aggressive rifler. Jerry could still call it and be the player supported with nades. The way round doesn't make sense to me. I wouldn't have Jerry taking the fights first.
I kind of want to make a sports team now that's just called the Fighting Jerrys. Oh, great shot from Cabbi. Takes a gun out of player right at the end there. The up as well. Zorta dropping that on down. Now, instead of this being a buy around these two guns, forZe have a decision to make. How much are they going to gamble on this round? They can still get a decent buy up, but they won't have the up. They won't have several pieces that they want. Utility might be limited. And so they're going to take a timeout to talk things over. This is their first timeout. Obviously, things have been going pretty peachy for them. But since the half switch, not so much.
On we go. Well, they've got to save here, I think. You've got such a buffer, there's no reason to fully invest. If you are the Jerry Jivers.
So
looks like a half buy. Jerry Jivers.
Jerry Jivers. Interesting. I like
Jerry
it.
Jammers. Jerry Jiggers. Jerry.
Keep workshopping this one.
I've already done it before. There's no good J's.
Queen X finds an opener. Once again, ECSTATIC's good run of form continues. That was a boiler player out. Not finding much off of this one. It was a low probability round to begin with. Now it seems like they might try and isolate this fight towards Banana. If they can catch Kraghen, they'll suffer casualties. There you go. You get an upgrade, Jerry. And they get a fair chunk to save into the next round.
The Jerry Jousters.
Jousters. There you
They do
go.
it in medieval
I think
armor
you
as they
flip it.
play.
I think you do the jousting Jerry's.
Jousting Jerry's. That's not bad. Best I've got at the moment. We'll start the fan club.
The jousting Jerry's.
Yeah. Where we
Don't
watch.
roll out the fan banners just yet, because I'd say with this type of situation, ECSTATIC have made this game at least interesting. You said you see no world where we don't wind up in a map 3. I'm still leaning that way, but interesting.
The loss bonus is building up. It's going to only get more difficult. And put it the other way, for forZe not to win this map, it would be a collapse of epic proportions.
They've already had one. Right now, I want you to imagine Chalfie is Pippin. Jerry is Aragorn. Chalfie says, "Oh, it's time for collapse. We've already had collapse today, but what about second collapse?" Plenty of time still, Alan. Could happen.
Aggro B-sake. 3 players there. That's just dumping early nades, and forZe's not going to commit to it as Krad leaves his utility and gets out of there. He's off to A, and it looks like an apps pop. 3 players into long haul. Bomb is here. Flash is ready to go. Result needs to be massive.
Oh, okay. Result, not so massive. Gets the first. Nothing more, nothing doing. They're forced out. It's likely to be a save. Again, playing the long game. Building for the future, because this one's been overwhelmed, and their kit's too valuable to give up in a man disadvantaged situation. Bomb will be down. ECSTATIC continue to shrink this gap. It'll just be 5 rounds between these two teams now. 5 rounds, Alan. That's barely a lead.
It's getting slightly compelling. I'm still confident. Still confident, guys. Still feeling good. I wonder if ECSTATIC had a read about how forZe have been playing apartments, because most players would early molly apartments to prevent an early apps take like that into an apps pop. And forZe are playing out. They did have 2 on the site, but not a lot mustered as the apps pop is in. So all in all, ECSTATIC looking nice. I think it's fairly obvious from the first 2 maps that maNkz has got this team pretty well oiled on the C side. They got a good few options.
Yeah.
Their playbook looks nice.
It does indeed. I'd like to see forZe put more of an emphasis on getting Zorta involved. By his standards, this has been an incredibly quiet game. 9 and 12. And I mean, it's Inferno, so we've seen him just saving in a lot of rounds, because that's how this map works. But maybe find ways to activate him. Last round, they tried to do it towards B with a little bit of a banana play. Let's see, where's Zorta position? They're going to try it again. They're going to roll the dice here towards B, and it might be a good read. Heavy presence is carrying this way for ECSTATIC. Jerry wants to fly into the action. The madman. It's not going to work out. Do they lose Krad as well? Yes. Zorta's just been throwing the nades for them. But now he's the lone guy. Trying to get up there with the rifles. He's under pressure. He knows it. Cabbi is past this, wanting to chase it down. And, I mean, with the sight and 5 alive, this should, frankly, turn into another save. But Zorta's going to give it a little look in. This look in might lead to his death. Not just yet. But Alan, they've already got to be thinking about backing away.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a good buy in the next. No real reason to commit. And maybe my confidence is starting to wane a little bit. As I mean, they haven't even had a look in on the last 3-4 gun rounds.
Yeah.
This round, they go for the absolute aggression, top spawns, trying to fight banana, and they get nothing out of it. Absolutely nothing. It's just complete carnage as all the nades are there, and ECSTATIC is spamming with multiple players. Even these saves are being denied. One more kill, and maybe they pull a buy out of the question. I think it's still in, but it's doing a lot to make forZe uncomfortable. Where have the
Only one
pauses
gun
been
save
for
too.
forZe?
They've burned 2, I think, to
They
this
need to
point.
pause
At
again
least
and
1.
keep talking about this because it's getting out of control.
They've got the money again. They've got all the utility in the world. That loss bonus has built up. They have everything you could possibly want. So now you got to prove it to us. You got to prove that you can take through one CT round. And I mean, of course, at this point, barely even bears repeating, but ECSTATIC have so many buys in the tank that forZe will have to fight for every round that they need to close this game. Can't do a 5-to-1 ratio, or in this case, there have been 7 rounds off the rep. So reminiscent of Anubis. Jerry nearly burns alive. 4 HP, just off of a peek. Just off of a check. And so now they're going to have to play so timid back in towards B, which is not the way forZe likes to play at all. Krad's going to go forward. Never mind, they're not going to be timid. Even in a tough situation. And Krad, he's down for the count.
Moving
This
back.
is the rotation. Look at
Yeah,
this.
they didn't actually invest a lot of nade into that, did the T side. So it's not too shabby. They can reroute into A, and they've still got 4 smokes. Fake CT smoke comes in from kraghen, and Shalfie smells the ruse. He plays up into the defensive smoke as his teammates spam as he walks through. He's now getting a lot of information. Jerry needs to get on his rollerblades and help out A before that exec comes in.
Gotta go quick for it. They're gonna lose Arch, which means that Jerry's rotation in is gonna be tough. Shalfie, though. ECSTATIC have stalled out for once. They've slowed things down, and that might allow Shalfie to get actually involved into the round, but he's got to go quick. Jerry with the peek. The flashbang was good for it. Only one, but with his health, that's a good result. And speaking of, man in pit is holding the line. And Shalfie will come in just in time, finally, a round through.
A little labored at the end, but they make it work. Even though Jerry only finds 1 kill, he's on low HP, and he buys more time for his site players to readjust. There's forZe. Is that their first CT round? It is right, isn't it? It was 13-2, wasn't it? On the flip. I believe so. First CT round. Comes rather late. There's a lot of money for this T side, so they're going to be buying no matter what, I suspect, for every single round remaining in this map of Inferno. Freebie from the onset from the CT side. Jerry's a lot of nades for his troubles, but somehow Krad has found an angle behind the pool molly. Jerry getting saved by the smoke, but still spotted by kraghen. And ECSTATIC, if they commit here, there are actually still 2 in defense.
There are. Probably going to have to be a key piece here. Once again, he spotted the player. There's still the cover, and he's burning. He's burning. He's burning. Molotov down counted the other way, but they're past it. Is Krad going to realize? No, he does. But he doesn't have the shot. Shalfie wants to make a play through the smoke, but this is disastrous again. 3-on-3. This will keep them interested. The money is very risky. Over on the forZe side, though, so if one more body gets dropped, you'd imagine this turns into a save. ECSTATIC again in the controlling position. They're dumping the remaining utility just to stall this out, just to persuade forZe that they want to back away, and I think they've done enough. Oh, all right. They're going to re-execute. They're going to come in. A smoke to get them closer, but this is tough. Nades take out kraghen. Now they're coaxed. Molotov to make life uncomfortable here for Cabbi, but he's lost a teammate, and there's the last piece. They know where Shalfie is. Salazar's holding, and Salazar will finish it all.
It's cooking up now. Thank God forZe had a clean round, and the one they did win. Because at least ensures another buy here. Oh, no. It's been... This whole series so far has been the kind of unstoppable force, immovable object sort of thing, where both teams just can't get it done on CT whatsoever. And it means these games are destined to go down to the wire, because neither team can establish an advantage because of the irresistible forces of their T sides. The result, how's he so low already? Is that nade damage? Crikey.
Crikey, indeed. Very
Was he
foreboding
might be
situation.
spammed. I mean, he was spammed. He was in apartments.
And I mean, they saw the aggressive peek outside of T-Apps, right? So that's where he's going to get caught. Now pressure's going to be on Result here at Graveyard. Was he spotted? The flashbang was there, but I think they saw him. I think somebody was unflashed. Either way, they're going to come barreling on towards the site to kill the site player. So even if Result gets one, which he doesn't, it's not going to matter. And this has to be a save. This has to be a save. 11 rounds going to be on the board here for ECSTATIC. The pressure on for forZe and the hunt. You know the hunt's going to be on. Look at this already. Queenix is racing around to try and cut off angles. At this point, they can throw away 5 guns, just provided they take one out from the other side. It's well worth.
spot of comic relief there as the pit smoke, the T-side pit smoke lands on top of the pillar by Graveyard, by the barrel. And looks a
That's a
little
new
bit
one.
funky. Okay, Zorte collects the first. Still time
Confirmation,
for
though.
these players from Banana to get in and do damage. Smoke is down, but they're through. They are in front. Jerry's down. And now Zorte just playing to hold on to this AWP.
He'll do no such thing. He'll do no such thing. Look at this money now, Alan. Here's where it crumbles. They have to half buy. They have to half buy. This was a 13-2 half. 13-2. forZe have scraped one
Second pause.
round.
Oh my God.
This is only the second. Okay, well, at least they'll
Yeah,
be able to
I thought they
pause for
hadn't
all
burned
the remaining
many.
rounds.
Oh, God.
Tension ratcheted up here if you're a forZe
I think
fan.
the call is actually to full eco and play for 2 gun rounds.
Okay. Don't mind that.
Nobody does it. No, I've never seen it, Mike. And I know it's the play here because you economic damage is meaningless. It's
They're not gonna do
absolutely
that, though.
meaningless onto ECSTATIC.
Jerry is
You
actually
can't
going
break their
quite far.
cash. Yeah, they're definitely half buying. They should full eco though and play for 2 gun rounds. That would
Hear
be
me
the
out,
move.
though. You just buy the nade stack.
You could do that. I mean, we're talking. I'm talking such a small investment that you can get 2 buys in a row, whatever happens. That's what I would
Instead,
do.
they're going to go in pretty heavy. You're trusting that the
Yeah.
max loss bonus will allow them to recover if they get any damage here. Don't love that.
At
Oh,
least
we
makes
forgiven?
this round. Yeah, it makes this round more compelling though. So see how they approach it.
Shelfie. Shelfie eats that. Soak up damage here, and he's done. That was the one big gun, and now Jerry's following as well with the SMG. So the 2 players who invested most heavily into the round, the 3, they're all dead. They're all dead, Alan. ECSTATIC can put no foot wrong.
Oh my God!
Zorte's just getting spammed. He's just getting
What?
spammed. The read is there. The read is in. Krad gonna walk through a smoke to his death. It's clean for ECSTATIC. They got nothing out of this. Nothing.
Maybe they should listen to me. And they've actually bought themselves into a position where Shalfie and Jerry will not be full bought with full nades.
Nope.
That actually looks really silly. And as does Zorte, not have an AWP with. Oh my God. Are they really going to throw this away? 13-2. 13-2 on a balanced map like Inferno. You could play 4A or 3B every single round on the defense, and you'd luck it out in the end.
That's a wild tag. So I don't even think he ever spotted Salazar. I think he just spammed the angle through the wall. So take Salazar down to half. Shouldn't make too much of a difference, but it's a spicy way to start the round. 3B right now. Cabbi's been so good at catching these openings. And he's looking for another one. Shalfie committed up close. He's going to play in the smoke. Oh, this gets weird. They're past him. This gets real weird. He's heard all of this. Queues up for his team. They have no idea he's there. No, they've killed him. They've killed Shalfie. Salazar reads it, but still, his teammates are here in time. The information may be enough. The bomb's likely going to go down. They know there's a player in apps, though, and this makes it such a difficult position to play from the Moto smoke. They have to trust it. And now with the bomb ticking away, are there there's no kits. Alan, there's not a single kit on this CT side. Did Shalfie have one in mid? Is that going to be recovered? I don't think so. Time is such an issue here. They've got to go. They have to go. They have a Molotov still for pit. That's something at least. And it's going to be thrown. Force them into the slide, but the 2 kills go their way, and oh, it's fallen apart. It's frozen up these players on short. They only have this one dimension to the attack, and at this point, they know they have a crossfire. They're out of there. They're bailing. It's 13 for ECSTATIC.
How have we ended up here? How have we ended up here? These guys shouldn't even be fighting because they have to save these rifles. I mean, in one sense, at least the retake never got to a point of no kit being the hindrance. Can you believe they had no kit? They're on max loss bonus. And because they bought too much into a half buy, they didn't have a kit. Look at the buy here.
Oh, it's putrid.
Oh, it's just a half this time, but Christ almighty. forZe on the defense today have just been woeful. They need a Shalfie of the world. They need Zorte. An individual has to do something because as a team, they are epically dysfunctional right now.
Well, all it takes is one round to wash your sins away, or one catch here, result. Now, this is going to telegraph that they're going to funnel on in, but it's so good on the take. It's so much pressure. Jerry, 1 for 1. It's actually Shelfie's nade who catches it, but an even situation now. Shelfie wants to walk through, and he does to great effect. He'll get 2. Shelfie, this is the round. This is the round that Kraghen 3 SMGs. 3 MP9s. But forZe have finally done it. It's all the same at the end of the day if you can get through this map. And they've found 15. They've set themselves up on the precipice for ECSTATIC now. The comeback has to go one step further. It has to go to overtime.
Oh, there's the individual play we were beginning to gag for. We wanted it so badly. Shelfie just comes through the smoke on the tap. Player up close isn't ready for it. Of course, the bomb planter can't readjust quick enough. And after a disaster CT half, forZe finally make it to map point. ECSTATIC, though, I hope somebody in the camp is saying, we've already done the hard work. We're only 2 gun rounds away. We've done so much to even up this map, and what a shame it would be to not get it to overtime after fighting so hard over the last 20, 25 minutes.
Jerry. Gonna take it. Gonna take that round. Gonna make things interesting here. He's run down, though, on towards Banana, so it's an even exchange early on, and forZe's heavy apartments lean doesn't get them anything right off the rip. ECSTATIC gonna put some air into this one. Gonna put some time into this one. Let the defense adjust. Current situation. Force forZe to make a read. Force forZe to make a decision. And they'll split. They'll play buddy system towards sites.
ECSTATIC have nades to burn. They've got nades to burn, so it doesn't matter if they get in for another CT smoke before committing. And Shelfie's got the last piece of real util on the server. That's this smoke. Gets burned towards B. And ECSTATIC is a bad smoke. They're going to go for it, Mike. They're going to go for it. They catch Shelfie.
Oh.
And now Krad's in a world of pain.
Can't be doing that when it's your only smoke. Krad, he's going to get 1, but the trade's there. The trade is there. I think this has to be a save. It feels insane to say. Shelfie has some money in reserve. Can they justify this?
I think you go for it.
I think they can, yeah. It'll be all right. Krad's the only player who's massively limited. But they're hesitating here. They're setting up now with the utility. At least there's a kit this time around, but they're still going to have to be pixel perfect on these. And no, they don't want it. It's all going to come down to the last round, Alan. Not getting the fight. They want it on the right on the rip. They don't trust themselves on the time, and now we're going the full 30.
Bit of hesitation, I think, on the retake, because it looked like Result wanted to go for it. And I think with the money, someone could have just called out, you know, the buy is okay anyway in the last. I think the chance was enough. But ECSTATIC make it work all off the back of a bad smoke from Shelfie. Learn your lineups, kids. Even the simplest smokes, learn the lineup. Especially there when you're going to throw it for a CT smoke a lot of the time. Just learn some sort of safe lineup. If that smoke is good, ECSTATIC are forced into a terrible spot where they need to choose if they're going to go through the smoke or they're going to wait longer and risk a flank. And by virtue of that smoke being bad, it almost helps them. It gives them a good avenue to take a right-eye peek around the side of the smoke. Really awkward for the soul site defender. And of course, you saw Shelfie coming through the CT smoke. He didn't even know there was a gap. Oh my lord. One in 100 games. 1 in 100 games goes to round 30 after a 13-2 half.
Insane.
And we made it.
Absolutely insane. Krad has the secondary op. This is interesting. They haven't done it at all. This is the different look. This is the change-up pitch for the one round that forZe needs to crack through here. They bet it all on this round. It's the last bet they can make in regulation. For ECSTATIC, just one more needed. They're towing the line right now. There's the step over.
Oh my god.
Krad! He's gone. Secondary op is not getting it at all.
No!
Nade just hit him in the face, and now a massive advantage here. They kind of just want to go through Jerry. Jerry's going to make a risky play. Jerry's going to make a massive play, but it only nets him 1. This one's looking disastrous. kraghen is even holding on to this position in mid. He'll lose his life, but it's still a man advantage. The bomb's going to go down. forZe, they'll be able to come from either side for this retake. Salazar already posted up. Salazar, dumping the Molotov to slow him further down. Keeping his life up. And another molly. Rezal just can't get involved in this round. He has to drop his smoke. He has to waste it early, and he won't win the duel. Zorta, what do you have for us? We need some magic. Keep this going, or overtime's on the cards. We're going for more. We're going for more time. We've got more rounds here, Alan, and we're getting right into it as well. Oh my goodness.
I think both teams should burn attack pause here. Both teams should be burning a pause to slow this down. As we're waiting to see if there is a little bit of a pause if we get into it. I think the teams could use it. Especially forZe. There's a lot to discuss. There's so much to discuss for both teams.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. This game has been. ECSTATIC have to be living up to their name right now. I can't even imagine. I mean, obviously they need to take it over the line, but the fact that on both maps, they've now pulled off a mammoth comeback for being a young team, for being a team that doesn't have a coach, as far as I'm aware, for being a team that's, you know, still very much unproven against a forZe where you know they're going to be throwing a lot at you. This demonstrates a degree of mental toughness and grit that is already impressive. But if they could seal the deal with the 2-0, it would be humiliating for forZe.
Oh, immense credit to maNkz especially. He's fairly new to the calling role. He, of course, has played under people like Bird from Sky in the past and a couple other more established names in and around the Danish scene. But now he's had to move into that role as they've lost sequential players, and we've got this new mixture of young prospects brought together up against the likes of Krad, experience from Entropic. Jerry, of course, has played for years and years and years at a top 30 level. Zorte as well is racking up his brownie points as well. He's been around for a bit, but ECSTATIC seem to me to be showing more composure, and in overtime, that is all important.
Was gambling this towards A. The vision from Zorta is enough for them to trust it. And to be fair, ECSTATIC very much bunched. Seem to be waiting for some sort of a counterpunch to come in from forZe early on to see if they can't punish, but now they explode out.
What?
The pit player dead immediately. That is lethal from kraghen. Krad stuck on site. The Balk player can't be activated just yet. Now Shelfie's trying to get in. He had to accelerate his schedule because he knows that's under. Jerry is slid onto the site. He finds the bomb. That was not red. That was not expected. kraghen's coming back to try and find it, but Jerry taking command here. He's stuck, though, is the problem. He's two to contend with in towards pit. But the thing is, Zorta can control the sight lines. I don't know if they know Zorta's on the angle just yet. So Jerry down for the count. What do they have to get out of this pit? Flashbangs only. Flashbangs only. Those are going to need to be on. Zorta's dodged the first. There's another one to be deployed. Do they opt to check it first? They do indeed. Salazar, a duel, but he'll come out on top. The young Oppa shines. And the first round of overtime goes the way of the Danes.
That opening kill onto pit from kraghen. I wish I could swear. That was unreal. Unreal. ECSTATIC just knowingly committed into 4 players on A. I do not think it was the right macro call. I think they'll agree with me when they reflect on that one. But they make it work. kraghen removes the head of the pit player, the most important player against an exec. And immediately it's scrambling. If Jerry hadn't somehow found a gap, that round never goes close. And on we go. forZe just... whatever's going on the defense, even when they're in good macro positions with numbers leaned, they cannot make these side setups work for the life of them.
No, not at all. Double nade onto kraghen, and Salazar will soften them up into this round. You're absolutely right. Until there's 5 dead on the ECSTATIC side, I'm never going to feel good for forZe. heavy utility exchange here top banana. It's actually a pretty passive hold from what we've been used to seeing for forZe. It has whittled down quite a few of the nades. Jerry, though, still holding a Molotov, a smoke, a flash. He can stall things out off his Zorta's contact. And Cabbi, you know Cabbi wants a peek. Cabbi's itching for a peek. Is there a flashbang for this? No, he just goes dry. The Cabbi classic. The utility comes out at the exact same time, so they can't take the space. They're funneled back towards A. That is a great hold for forZe. That's exactly the way they always wanted that setup to work. Krad in the smoke. Krad in the smoke. Catches one. The trade is there, though. And so this isn't out of the realm of possibility just yet, but it's looking pretty bad for the ECSTATIC side. 30 seconds. They've got to go, and the numbers are crunching. This double setup here on the Balk. It's disastrous for ECSTATIC. forZe, that's the way you get a CT round on the board.
I get the idea from ECSTATIC. They wanted to kind of sell all of A pressure. They did some mid-take nades, showed a few players, and then they wanted to walk in and force a B duel. They're just caught off guard by Zorde being on the move. Of course, Orpa normally plays either short or long on A, and this time he's playing in towards CT on B. So forZe and Zorte staying proactive makes it difficult. He's forgot his AWP! He's left it in spawn.
Well, he's not getting an early peek in this round. Tell you that much. Fast play in. This could actually cause a huge problem because now results left open. Arch was open. Oh my goodness. A dropped AWP might be the difference here in this final round. The bomb is dropped though. Gonna have to go back to retrieve it. Utility will come in to section that off. Punishing nades trying to come back from the other side. This one, a tale of what's been left behind. But still, with the choke point util up for ECSTATIC, there's nothing forZe can do.
They're still scared of Pit. They're still scared of a Pit player.
There's no one there, though. They'll realize it. So now it's all about the defense, and Queenix secures the first bastion of it. The spot on the next. Kraghen got a little info off of that. On confirmation of where it's coming in. He'll lead a nade for his troubles. Forced out by the Molotov. Could be a dead man. Jerry clears in towards the site. That's massive. But now it's falling apart. All on Zorta. Time on his side, but he's made a footstep, and Cabbi hears it. And Cabbi executes a lead for ECSTATIC as we head into the second half of overtime. But as we've seen so far, leads in this matchup, they mean nothing, Alan.
forZe must have more pauses. They need to take them. They need to clear their heads. Have you ever seen anything like it? Zorte forgets the AWP. ECSTATIC run a fast A round, and there's nobody in defense after the first play goes down. You couldn't script it. You could not script it. 13-2 lead. Let's slip. Of course, T-side was a long time ago for forZe, but if they can rekindle some of that form, then maybe we're still on track for more overtimes. But that was a long time ago, approaching an hour since forZe looked good on the offense.
Crossfire set up with the AWP. A rifle of Cabbi. A lot of utility in hand, but Cabbi gonna go for a peek. This guy's a madman.
Salazar?
They're out.
He didn't know.
Salazar.
He didn't know.
He hasn't been seen. He hasn't been seen. Oh my goodness. He's gonna bring back one. The second as well. Salazar reads it. And now what was looking good for forZe is falling apart. Falling apart. He knows the player's boiler. I think he actually does not know. He's caught. No! Salazar still processing, figuring it out. All onto Krad. ECSTATIC looking for a map point now, and it's only Krad who can deny him. He's just ticked the molly. He's just ticked the molly and lost a good chunk of his health as a result of this. He doesn't have the bomb. He can't leave. And they're going to face him on the smoke fade. His position known, and Kraghen to put in the killing blow. Map point found for ECSTATIC from being 13-2 down after the first half. They can now close the game. Series point at that.
It's unthinkable. Unthinkable. forZe, of the 3 teams remaining in this qualifier, are by a long shot the most experienced. You'd expect them to have the most composure, to have the most fortitude, but we haven't seen that whatsoever. Cabbi mid-push. He wants to end it here and now. The young Dane getting up in the face. Unfortunately, though, can't get a good duel. First goes the way of Jerry as this forZe squad fights for survival.
That's a big find back, though, for Queenix. Also interesting to see the double up out. It's, we haven't seen it for ECSTATIC at all. We've never seen maNkz on the secondary op. So we don't know what this is going to look like. Well, likewise, forZe don't really know what this is going to look like. Other than unexpected. Now they've seen it at the very least. Don't know if they read that it's one of two, but this hit in, it's going to be of Salazar. They put so much responsibility on him. Now the smokes are coming in. Kraghen abandoned him. And Salazar is looking to stall out some time to set up some isolated fights, to wait for his comrade to come back in and support. He gets caught jumping. He gets caught repositioning. The timing, brutal. Jerry will find one. Damage and a kill on the next. And forZe, they're not done fighting just yet.
On we go. Yes, Kraghen. I mean, you could go for it. There's enough starting money here in overtime. He really fancies. But he's more playing for pride than anything else here. The round's already over. There's way too many players to get past. Zorte might miss, but there's still two in defense. Almost planted for Pit as well. This Pit player and Jerry doesn't need to do a great deal, and he's going to find the kill anyway. This game is heated up. This game was, dare I say, lackluster for a long period.
Yeah.
But ECSTATIC have come back to play, and forZe are refusing to die now at the end of this first overtime.
I find it interesting they go back to the double up as well. I mean, I'm sure they've got more reps on this than we've seen, but we haven't seen a lot of this, so it's an interesting one. maNkz wants the aggro peak. He's going to catch a nade for his efforts. No, they both go towards sandbags, and result. A result. Burning. If an HE comes back his way, he's a goner. Fortunately for him, it doesn't seem to be the case.
App set up. Shalfie's alone. Could be in big trouble if he peeks through.
Oh, the shot goes wide, though. And he realizes that's a bit of a stay of execution. That's a bit of a second lease on life. Go back off. They've got this top banana control. They're going to leave Krad in position. And they're going to see if they can't work a little bit of space towards brackets.
Such a game of chess this round. Show yourselves apps. Have to block mid to stop forZe reacting out, taking the space. And ECSTATIC settle into this mid-fight setup. Queenix is under porch. Salazar towards long. Cabbi can come over to help pretty fast too. If forZe don't put down all the nades, they can walk right into the grass of this, and the smoke is good.
The Molotov sections it off, though. Prevents that plan from coming through. You're absolutely right about chess game. This utility is wild, and there's a gap in that smoke as well, so ECSTATIC might be trusting it a little bit more than they should.
ECSTATIC's out of nades. 2 flashbangs. A is primed to be hit. Bomb is going into apartments. As they commit to a double site setup, there's nobody in pit, and that might just pull an extra A player off as well. Indeed, it does.
It has, but it's just Krad. It's just Krad. Well, Krad's making a ton of noise.
No.
He's still going to find the damage. That's going to freeze Salazar.
Fine.
He has to stay there. He's got this kill now. He needs to rotate. The hits are coming through, but it's about these site players. That's the bomb drop. Time is an issue. Oh, no! They're out of time, Alan! They've lost this to the clock! It doesn't matter what Shalfie does. That's going to be the game. forZe. Oh my goodness, left themselves no margin in that final round, and ECSTATIC complete the comeback from a 13-2 half down, from domination shown from forZe. They battle it back bit by bit by bit, a relentless T side, never giving forZe a chance to catch a break, never giving them any easy rounds. It takes overtime, but they still crack through. That is an astounding